Hi, I'm Geneva Long, CEO of Bowlus, and today we're going to talk all about RV camping in national parks and the top 6 things that you need to know. So let's kick this off with boondocking. Now, most national campgrounds do not have hookups. What does hookups mean? That means shore power right here. And adventuring with RVs that are not built for boondocking means that you could end up either damaging your battery or not able to work even small 12-volt appliances due to your battery's limitation. And that's why we designed the Bowlus to be off-grid. Our large battery banks, sophisticated power management systems, and ability to run necessary appliances like microwaves, air conditioners, and all outlets off-grid means that you can stay in the best spots because you don't require those hookups to be able to enjoy yourself and be comfortable inside your RV. Now, you might hear people say, who cares about shore power? Just use a generator. And, while that can be the case, you shouldn't rely on generator power, especially inside national parks. And a big reason is that because national parks offer generator hours. And even those hours they offer are really limited and usually about less than 4 hours per day. And the hours are always at the most inconvenient time. Think like 10 to noon and 3 to 4. And of course, those are the times that you'd rather be out exploring and doing something rather than just sitting next to your RV running the generator. It's also like you visit the national parks to experience it and not to hear that constant hum of your generator. So at Bowlus, we're really into, that ability to have quiet performance, meaning that your generator is not on and that's not part of the experience for you. In the endless highways, depending on your battery configuration, you can have up to 17 kilowatt hours of battery and aerosolar on the roof as well. And aerosolar, both on the Rivet and the endless highways, means that you can be off grid indefinitely. So that means the solar that you're able to generate, of course, on a sunny day is able to make up for the consumption that you would use with regular daily use. And regular daily use, we consider the fridge, the lights, charging devices, really anything except for those larger appliances like air conditioning, etc. Air conditioning can still run off the batteries, and in the Volterra, you can get up to 32 hours of air conditioning off the batteries as well, but that's sort of a separate consideration depending on the way that you're camping. Now, the next important thing to consider is that size matters. So most national park campgrounds cannot accommodate RVs over 27 feet. And that's a huge reason why you see the Bowlus at 27 feet. With larger RVs, you can still get close to the park, but you're going to end up staying outside of the park and being far away from the fun. Even if you do find some campgrounds inside the park that can accommodate those larger RVs, they're not as abundant, which is going to mean that you'll have a harder time making that reservation, getting that spot because they're just simply in higher demand because there are fewer of them. And with a Bowlus, booking ahead is easy because there's more spots that you can fit in. It also makes sense because it allows you to have that flexibility. State parks, national parks, be able to, get last minute camping reservations and that type of thing. Now, my fourth most important tip is getting into the campsite. So even if RVs over 27 feet are allowed, they're going to be really hard to maneuver in there. And that's because national park campsites were largely built a long time ago when travel trailers and RVs were much smaller. So features like trees, rocks can all make getting into your campsite quite difficult. And that's certainly not how you want to start your camping experience. So with the Bowlus, and I'll link my videos where I maneuver the Bowlus around with the jockey wheel at the front, as well as arrow moves. So 2 different options to easily maneuver your Bowlus into the campsite. Never mind the fact that it also has the single axle, making it very easy to back up as well. The Bowlus is just easier to maneuver. You've got really high ground clearance, the ability to place that Bowlus into position by hand, super easy towing experience and backing up experience, which means you can really have your pick of the campsite. Getting into the park is my fifth tip. The routes are not always suitable to RVs over 27 feet or high vehicles. Tight corners, steep grades, bridges, all of that can provide issues. So it's important to know the size of your RV, including any rooftop air conditioning units, which the Bowlus doesn't have, but in case your RV does have that. Parks can have really small roads, one-way roads, and trees over the roadway, etc., that can make it hard to get into. The Bowlus is a lower profile vehicle, but still has a high ground clearance, and that's because of that step-in frame design. So you're not limited in how you choose to explore, especially in a national park. And then my last tip is weather conditions. So many national parks are located at elevation or in desert terrain where temperatures can drop overnight. And if you haven't bought an RV before, and this is your first RV that you're considering, you might not know that most RVs are not built for freezing conditions or four-season camping. And due to that, if you were to encounter those conditions, damage can occur to your freshwater systems in your RV. Now, Bowlus designs this differently because we do design for 4 seasons of camping. And a big reason is that is all of our water lines are inside the shell, including the freshwater tank. And so as long as you're keeping the inside of your Bowlus warm, which you can do with hydronic heating, incredibly efficient and silent, which can run off of either electrical, shore power, battery, or propane tank on front. So lots of options. That means the Bowlus is built for every season. So no need for concern when temperatures drop about damage. So you'll be warm and cozy inside too. So that finishes my top 6 things to know about camping in national parks. Feel free to add yours in the comments. If you have any other questions about what it's like to camp in a Bowlus or your use case and what type of camping you're thinking of, please contact us at sales@bowlus.com or www.bowlus.com.